Hello, my name is Omar Abasad. It's 3:40 p.m., August 29, 2019. So I tweeted a bunch of tweets today on my account, RSHINI911, and I referred to a number, and that is the EF reading, electrical field. And that electrical field increases um, at certain rates, depending on the amount of pain that's inflicted. So I noticed uh, in my research, and I've been doing a bit of research since I got this, that at certain readings, certain amount of pain is inflicted. So when the power is turned up really high, and there are comments outside the window by perpetrators commenting that we have a new report, and we're going to turn up the power, full power. I noticed that I'm hit with these beams that I think is some version of the active denial system. So yeah, you should Google that, and or on the YouTube, you'll find some more information about that and how it works and the components of that beam. So the components of the beam are RF signals and electricity. So when the electrical reading, that's voltage per meter, goes up to about 2000 plus, it's excruciating pain. And judging from the intensity of pain and the readings that I'm experiencing, um, I'm going back in memory, and about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe less, um, more like 4 years ago, maybe. Um, I was being scanned while I slept, as I'm still scanned as I sleep, with sometimes with the power turned up. But now I just get up immediately. But about 4 years ago, I was being scanned, and I wasn't quite sure how it was being done. So I didn't get up immediately from the location that I was in bed or on the sofa. So um, the scans were frequent. They were maybe less than once every 5 minutes, and they were excruciatingly painful. I was shielding, but apparently the shielding was not enough because the power was turned up so high. And I remember getting up that night with both feet swollen. Just I was fine the day before when I went to bed, and I woke up with both feet swollen, in excruciating pain. I could not walk on the feet, and I was getting heart palpitations, and there was a clicking sound in my chest. So I went to the emergency, and nothing was diagnosed. I was sent back home. So my suspicion is that based on some of the comments I heard outside the window and in the public arena when I go out, because this is a community targeting program, so everybody knows. And if they don't know, they're told, they're infiltrated. So people talk anywhere you go, and they're supposed to make you feel um, um, isolated, not one of them, as anybody would feel when people are whispering behind their backs anywhere they go, right? So this is normal bullying tactics. So uh, some of the comments was um, the worker collapsed her heart. And because of these comments, I went back and I in memory, and I thought about what happened, and now I'm comparing to the numbers that I'm getting from this and the sensations and the pains, and it probably was true. The power was turned up so high that it's very possible that either the lungs collapsed or the heart collapsed. I'm gonna take an educated guess and say my heart collapsed because I actually felt this rushing sensation through my veins. It felt like somebody opened a valve, a water tap, full power, and the blood was just rushing through my body, and it wasn't being modulated. It wasn't. It was as if the valves in my system and my in my arteries and my veins and probably my heart had collapsed, and the blood just came rushing through. And I remember making a note in my online diary about this. Um, so I strongly suspect that there was a structural issue with the heart because the power was turned up. Now, would it be diagnosed as a heart attack? No, it wasn't a heart attack. It was heart failure. And because I'm a target, the symptoms were attributed to other things. I was never diagnosed with a heart attack or heart failure, although I had all the symptoms of heart failure. It was never diagnosed. So this is what happens when you are a target. And I'm constantly reminded of this in the building in which I live. And the push is on to have me mentally committed, which is going to be if I, it's part of the targeting. So these the documents that are being used to support this push are fraudulent. People are lying on affidavits and statements. That's part of the conspiracy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me. Um, there is a lot of symptoms of the stress caused by the targeting, but there is no mental illness. Stressful reactions to being harassed is what happens when you are being harassed. It's not a mental illness. If you don't take care of it, then it can become a mental illness. But the stress itself can be very disabling. It's a disease, rather. In my opinion, it could be classified as a disease caused by stress, not a mental illness. It could be temporary or it could be permanent, and it could be disabling. Talk to you another time.